at me.
Rolling.
We rolling.
Hey,
Hey,
we're rolling here. How you guys doing on this Wednesday afternoon? Coming to you a little early today.
real early.
Real early, we
Look,
got other
I got to remember
things.
right is left. There we go.
There you go. Right is left. That's how I go
There
here.
we go. We do it like that.
TV land, I reckon.
That's right.
Still dark as hell around
You
this
still
place.
dark?
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's all right. We just black. Blackity black.
Yeah,
black.
right. We black.
Right.
Not blue black, not black, but black. Welcome to Shut Up and Ride Show. Three's a crowd. Our other Conrad is not here yet, but she's always in spirit. We're still working out some kinks and cracks. Right, Brother
Yes,
John?
indeed.
But I'm glad to be here with you, Brother
Yes,
John.
ma'am. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no
And thanks for
problem.
coming.
That's right. We're supposed to start at 11, and this is 11-ish.
Yeah, something like that. But you know how it goes. We're here.
That's right. We are truly here.
Great
Though.
to be alive.
Yeah, on a beautiful Wednesday, hump day.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
We
Hello,
got
what's
some
this?
interesting topics
You good?
on the docket for today.
That's
You
right.
know,
What we gonna talk about? Just get into it, right?
Of course, 47. I guess he's gonna be part of this conversation for a while. 'Cause this
Well,
dude-
that's his whole point. That's what he want to be.
yeah,
Listen, he want to soak up all the attention.
yeah. He done,
Meanwhile, that's really happening is not what they talking about.
yeah, he done started the dictator behavior already. They say he got his man Elon Musk, a special a special government employee, and
He don't need no Congress to approve the stuff he doing.
Yeah,
Huh?
apparently this dude go had a green light to run wild because him and his doggy, I guess they call it doggy or doggy organization, Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh.
They gonna come trim all the fat, I guess, you know what I'm saying, and get rid of all those.
Has this company ever filed bankrupt?
Elon?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, I was gonna say we already doing better than Trump's companies.
I think that's what
Yeah.
it kind of looked like, a corporate takeover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in order to get around a lot of red tape that he faced his first term, he got this guy doing the special work that he don't need to see Congress about.
Well, one thing I
so
will
far.
say, Trump has said the first time he didn't quite know how to do it, but now he knows.
Right.
And maybe he knows for real, huh?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's going to work out in anybody's favor, including theirs.
We supposed to, what do you say? We getting ready to own the Gaza Strip, huh?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to police the world in your own country at the same time. You know what I'm saying? There was an old movie back in the day called The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
About the
familiar with
spooky?
it? The Spook Who Sat by the Door.
No,
You heard of that movie?
no.
About his brother Greenleaf, and it basically scared the shit out of American public and the government back in the day because they basically burned and banned the book, but they made the movie out of it. You know what I mean? And it was basically about the first black CIA agent coming up. You know what I mean? And through his mischief and whatnot, he decided to take his skills and everything he learned back to Chicago and across the country and organize these, black power groups, kind of like the Panthers, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's a good movie. You got to see it. But anyway,
but it was surrounding
surrounding
like
the
a
government
takeover?
and sales, and how to fight back against the tyrannical government. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So, it was a pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. It was one of the Black Power flicks.
I got you. Okay.
So they call it, but it's a definite blueprint of what can happen. You know what I mean? And a lot of folks, man, what probably should happen, what they're waiting on to happen.
Yeah.
People coming together and standing up, and I mean, isn't that?
But what do you think right now? He's just saying a lot of things. I don't think a lot of things have been done, or they don't know what's going on, and that's certainly part of the not knowing.
Well, apparently in their actions, they have some movement because They said like 20,000 federal governments already took their
Oh,
buyout. You
I
know
wonder
what I
what they
mean?
got paid.
Federal government employees.
Did they
You
say how
know,
much they get paid or
no,
no?
they didn't mention none of that. You know, but they
Wow, over
said that
20,000 employees
right.
already took the buyout.
Right, they said, but with Trump blessing, this dude got access to sensitive databases and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Uh, wow.
Yeah. But
So,
this all within 2 weeks.
wow,
You know.
wow. It's the right button, the first one. There you go. Testing. There you go. Thank you, ma'am.
And
So, wow.
yeah, so Musk has set up an alternate power structure within the government. You know, and they say it's for the purpose of cutting spending and pushing out employees.
Well, he certainly
You know,
cut it real quick, but
yeah,
is it? I know he also has some lawsuits
yeah, because
already pending.
yeah, none of it is happening with congressional approval. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
So,
So you
which
think
is
it won't stay? It won't.
well, they're definitely going to court over the constitutionality of it all. You know what I mean?
You think that's what their whole point is? Do you think that's what they're doing it for? So it could be challenged in court,
Right.
and then
He get his rulers and now his law, and it's
yeah,
headed towards a dictatorship. You know what I mean? Right
because
now, it's abuse of presidential authority. They're saying, you
uh-huh,
know,
right, and I think that's just it. I think, in my opinion, I think they're banking on the laziness of people of America.
right?
They're not gonna, they're doing all these things, and then when it gets challenged in court, somebody's not gonna do their work and it's gonna follow through.
Yeah,
Now, if people are doing their work, it won't happen, I think, but what do I know?
yeah,
But so far, people are getting, I hear checks, or first thing I heard is Social Security checks won't be cut.
right,
And that's now changing.
right.
But hey, I know you did some research. What else
Let's
you
see.
got there?
I didn't do much with all this researching and crap. Puts you to sleep. No, just kidding.
Doing the work, right? It's work.
Right, right. But anyway, I just some of this over with you. It's crazy crap because they set my man up a whole office within the White House. You know what I mean? This dude Trump ain't. Musk ain't received not damn vote to do nothing. But he is.
He the
He
government
got the
employee, the
reins on the
special
government, right? He done
White
got
House
that
employee.
goes to show you, man, this dude have every intention of doing, what they want to do, and he got people in all entities of the government. The education, you definitely want to shut
Oh
that
yeah,
down. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And the agricultural department, they've been dismantling farms for the longest. And
Now, what do you think about this? I heard someone say, um, "Hey, that's good that the government won't be involved in so much and leave it at the hands of the local people." And then my argument with him was that, well, why did the government get involved in the first place? Because there were such mistreatment and maltreatment and people not getting, what they deserve, not getting their due just. And this is the only reason the government had to get involved because people weren't doing what they're supposed to do. And most people who live local, let's say, for instance, when Trayvon Martin happened, a lot of folk, or even when I moved back here to Sanford, there's a lot of things that was going on in Sanford that wasn't going on in the rest of the world.
right,
I mean, a lot of mistreatment, and the people here in Sanford, they were none the wiser because they didn't know, because this is the only place they lived and grew up at and worked at. So they
yeah,
didn't know they could have A, B, and C. They only thought they could have D.
right,
And so it wasn't until, people come from other places and say, hey, yeah, you guys can have it. And they're like, what? What,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
And so this was my example to the friend that was going back about government involvement. I said, listen, if we could trust and believe in our local politicians and leaders and that we're getting a fair shake, then of course we wouldn't need the government's help. But being that we don't, or if we can prove, hey, things are well at local levels, then I go with less involvement with education but yeah, I don't have faith in that.
Yeah, what
You
I
know.
found since I've been down here, especially since I've been in Sanford,
Hmm.
it's like, man, stepping back in time. Jim Crow is very much alive down here in this town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy. You know, so if it's going on in this town, you can see it's definitely statewide. You know, and
Well,
it's
not
just,
state
you
necessarily.
know, it's
Big
it's
cities,
crazy.
people who know what they're supposed to get, they're
Yeah,
going and hey, give me, you know.
yeah. But I'm talking from the census office. You see
Hmm.
how he conduct himself. That's why all these other so municipalities, as like Sanford. That's the only one I can really speak on. That's all
Hmm.
I know right now. You
Right.
know, and it's just the way I've witnessed things get done. It's like we gonna do what the hell we want to do and how we want to do it, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it because we got more money than you. We gonna outlast and out tax you and out fine you and just do bogus crap as we go along. And what you gonna do about it? You know, and people
People are afraid.
and of course their targets of always people of color. You know,
I know something about
I
that.
would hate to see about the land jacking. If someone was to get down here and really investigate this government and how they go about stealing people's properties and stealing people's lands and stealing people's money, it's just crazy. It's crazy. I thought
Yeah.
Illinois was bad. I thought they was corrupt up there in Illinois, man.
Yeah.
Illinois ain't got
Greedy
a
people
damn thing on
everywhere.
Florida.
Yeah, it's
You
greedy
know,
people everywhere, man.
it's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, right now I'm dealing with some things legally with um, the city of Sanford, as you know,
Right.
and I think my thing is probably only with one or two people, but nevertheless, yeah, it is a uphill battle for just being for doing the righteous thing, for doing the
Right.
correct thing,
Right.
and it's not until I have to get the attention. Um, at a national level or outside of Sanford in order to get things done. And yeah, is that sad? Yes, it is. I ain't gonna quit though. And
No,
yeah,
I say
man, it's
expect you to quit.
yes, they
But all the
definitely.
limitations and the balls and chains they putting on you guys, they still can't stop you. That just burns they snaky bridges.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
just
It
it,
burns.
it just burns them, man. Like dropping a hot coal in their back pocket.
Yeah. And you know how you say to brown and black people whom are business owners are the first ones they go after.
Yeah, the
You
only
know,
ones they go after.
well, they go after others, but the ones with the largest
I
influence.
can't tell from the few meetings that have been up in there, these people crying about their properties and all
Well,
these
there you
fines and
go.
crap. I ain't seen
Business
nothing but
owners or
black folks.
property owners.
You know, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, they don't want you to have shit.
Yeah, they
They
weaponize
don't
the
want you
code
to have
enforcement.
anything. Yeah, yeah.
They and in fact, I think that's one of my lawyers' place. They're pulling up cases where they shouldn't be allowed to do this, and I pray that's what they'll use in order to get to straighten them out.
I'm sure they'll find thousands of examples if they really
Yeah,
look. You
if
know,
they
because
right,
these folks
and
ain't
you ain't got to
hiding.
look far.
Right, they ain't trying to hide what they do because they know they can just do what the hell they want to do.
Mm,
And that's what's about to end, and that's what they're scared about. They're not just nationwide, but worldwide. The
yeah,
hatred is up. The time is up, man.
yeah,
Take your hateful ass on somewhere.
yeah. I mean, listen, go to Guantanamo.
Right, 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 right.
Oh,
Go back to the caves. Like I tell folks to go back to China, go back to Mexico, go back to Africa. Take your ass back to the caves. How about that? You know,
I
I
hear you.
mean,
I hear you, Brother John.
it's absurd. I'm just talking about the wicked. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm not talking to everybody. We know who I'm talking about.
yeah.
But if you chose to put yourself in that category, you pack up and go right along with them.
No,
You
I
know,
get you. No, I get you.
you
I
know.
I remember having an incident at Sam's Club one time, and you know, I had often told people would say, "Oh, they do this. They say go back to Africa and this and that." And I had never had that, and I said to myself, "Well, if anybody ever tell me to do that, I know what I'll do." And I was pregnant with Sage at the time. And I had Sadiqa and Star with me in Sam's Club. And this guy, he was in a wheelchair, and I walked by him a few times. You know how they give you the samples at Sam's, for free?
Right.
Give you little samples. And so I wanted some of them crackers she had, but she was talking to him in the chair. So I walked by a few, because I was getting other stuff, and I came back again to get some other stuff. And I walked by them one last time. And so I said, "Excuse me." And I said, "You mind?" And he goes, "You're rude." And I said, "What? She has a job here." And so I did go. He goes, "You nigger, you need to go back to Africa." And I'm a belly full of baby. And the first thing was, so I looked around real quick. I was like, is there anybody who looked like me? I did like a quick, want nobody within like, I could see.
Right.
And my daughters were there looking at me, and I said, well, if I need to go back to Africa, you need to go back to Europe. I said, because you don't belong here. And I called myself, calming myself down, because my initial thought was to just dump his ass out of that wheelchair.
Right, right,
I
right,
was like, he
right,
can't walk, what he gonna do?
right.
And the lady was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I said, no, it's not you. I said, you need to go back to Europe because you don't look Native American to me. Well, you need to go back to Africa. And I said, you know what? That's why you can't walk.
Right.
That's why you can't walk, because of who you are. I said, now this lady got a job to do, but yet instead of you choking up all her time, not allowing her to do her job, and I started to feel my tears come up because I was holding in and trying to.
Slapping the shit out there, maggot motherfucker. I know what you're saying.
So, and I wanted to be an example to my kids and still hold up, like this person ain't got nothing to lose apparently. So
Right.
let me just, keep who I am. And I explained it, and she kept apologizing. I said, it's okay, it's okay. She said, no, no, I'm so sorry. I said, no, you didn't do it. That's his ignorance. He is that's why he can't walk, and I walked away, and I didn't know other people went to get a manager.
Right.
And so as I walked away, one of the managers came. In fact, his name was Linwood. Linwood said, Miss Muhammad, that's when I was married, my first husband. He goes, Miss Muhammad, what happened? What happened? I said, and by then, now I'm ball crying, and I'm trying to hold it. I said, he did this, but I told him, and he goes, well, where is he? And about 6 people, here he is over here. Everybody was white, but they were like, here he is. And one white dude pushed the cart toward him.
Right.
And I was like, thank you. And he asked, is these all the groceries you're getting? And he says, well, no, he says, this is yours that's in this cart? He goes, yeah, I'm finished shopping. He said, give me your card, sir. So he gets his card. He looks at the name. Oh, you're a member since this time, or you are no longer allowed on these premises. And Miss Muhammad, you'll have free membership. In fact, he's paid up for the next 2 years. You'll be paid. That'll go towards your membership for the next 2 years. And sir, you're not allowed to come on this property ever again. And they escorted him out. They cut his card right there. And
this is an outrage.
Yeah, right. And that gave me, I didn't expect,
right.
But all of the people, it wasn't about being black or white, it was the indecency,
Right.
the pure racist remark, how nervous this dude, but everybody came and assist me, and I was so grateful, and my daughters got to see it, and,
Right.
Several people wanted to hug me. I said, yo, I'm okay. He says, you handled that well. And I was like, well, yeah, I did want to dump him out the wheelchair though.
Right.
But about 6 months later, I seen him in another store. He did his wheelchair in the store, and then a lady came right behind him. And I said, you know that man? And she goes, Yes, 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 that's my husband. And I said, you know what he did to me? And before I could say it, she says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I said, well, just know you are the, what did I say to her? I said, you support it. That's why it's done.
Right,
Even if you, because if you're against it, you'll stand up. But the silence is the support.
right.
And that's what I deal with today. A lot of people are in silence.
Yeah,
Like they just,
yeah,
that's support.
yeah,
And even though you say you disagree, but if you there with the person standing next to them, you are in support of that
yeah.
person. So stand up, people.
Just as
Stop being
guilty.
afraid. Yes.
Just
And
as
guilty
guilty.
by association
Yeah,
is the same thing.
yeah.
So how many people we have like that? Oh well, it ain't happening to me, or that's them, or that silence. It'll eventually it'll spread over to you, because what's hard, we're supposed to be people, supposed to be sticking together. We're supposed to be more social than animal than
Yeah.
monkeys.
I can't tell. I see dogs and cats getting along,
Yeah,
birds, all types of animals getting along nowadays, except for the human.
yeah, because we got a
You know,
choice and we choose what.
right? Chose hate.
Yeah, so that's
The hardest thing to do is to hate,
is
maintain hate. You know,
they say you use less muscles smiling than you do
right,
to frown.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but but then getting back to like you said, that people gonna start feeling it, especially nowadays because these folks don't give a damn about your skin color. They trying to enslave and imprison all of us. The
Mm.
entire world population. If you ain't like you were saying, what 8, 10 figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You ain't
you ain't
part of
got
that
making
concern.
eight
You
to
know what I
ten
mean?
figures and famous.
You ain't
I
part of
ain't
that
saying
concern.
he caring
Right,
about you. You know, that's what he's showing,
right,
and that's what I'm speaking on.
right.
And it's not just what the media is dishing to me, but what I'm reading, what I'm seeing, and I haven't felt it yet. So, but I pray my local politicians are paying attention. But
Yeah,
but meantime, in between time, it's important for you to be self-sufficient.
definitely. Oh, that's what it's gonna boil down to across the board. Because I don't know why people can't see it. They're taking what they want.
Mhm.
They're burning up people's homes by the thousands. You know what I mean? That damn fires and shit, that's no accident. The
Mm.
floods in Carolina and all that, no accident. You know what I mean? They doing what they always done best, land grab.
Mm.
They said, by hook or crook, and until the people fight back, when you gonna revolt, you know what I mean? Because it's not gonna stop. And you sit up here begging for them to, you cannot ask an unconscious individual to be conscious about what he's doing. These guys have no moral, they have no cool, they have no love for their own families. So when they got love for you, and when I talk about, these mutts and maggots, people know what I'm talking about, the powers that be. And it just so happened that they look in a certain way. That ain't my fault. You know what I mean? That they all look the same, that they all come cut from the same bigoted, hateful, ignorant, just self-destructive cloth, you know? And sooner or
Yeah.
later they're gonna choke and smother themselves, which is what they're starting to do with their arrogance and their ignorance, and the shit that they're trying to do, the shit that they're doing. They can't do nothing but, I say lead to a change. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing when it goes up. Unfortunately, the people not wanting to come together, it's gonna take some terrible things to take place. But if folks
Yeah.
come together, this all can be taken care of in a somewhat civil manner,
Right.
But
Right.
people saying it ain't happening to me, it ain't happening to me. It's
No.
about to happen to your ass.
Right.
Sit back and keep watching. It's
Yeah.
about to happen to you. You
If
know
we're the
what I
human
mean?
race, it's happening to
Yeah,
you. If you're a part of the human race, you are a part. You maybe don't feel it yet,
yeah,
but it will. And you agreed. And I think January 6th and 2020, when January 6th happened, one of the things I said, I was in Tampa visiting Sequoia, And we were sitting, I was playing with the grandkids, and I seen that. And my daughter's husband, he's Venezuelan. No, he's El, I forget. He's from South America, Central America. And so I said to him, this here is KKK without the mask. If you want to, January 6th, what this is them without the sheets.
Right.
That's what you have here. And somebody said, oh, well, no, no, it's not that. I says, well, trust me, it is. In 2020, they don't have to wear the sheets.
Right.
And that's what it was. And for him to expunge and pardon all those January 6 people was sad. It was a
Yeah.
sad day. And but he said he would do it.
Yeah.
And so everything he said so far, he's falling through with. He said he would come and some things I know some of them are mad because he said he would bring the economy down. And then a couple of days ago, I did hear him say, well, things might go up for a while, but you got to understand.
Did you hear what this asshole said to them folks when they asked him was he going by the plane site?
Oh yeah.
He said, "What you want me to go swimming?"
And also the DEI thing. I'm
Right,
like,
right. They found a way to implement their DEI bullshit, and the killing fun about it. Everybody involved in all the crashes with white pilots.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
And he
saying?
was trying to make it sound like there
Yeah,
were
yeah,
people that
yeah.
were not
Of color, right,
qualified
right, not
to do their
qualified.
job. And he ain't qualified.
Right. And then it got
He didn't get his
right,
job
right.
on,
No, no.
on merit and hard work. And no.
And then the
Yeah,
one
so
dude he fired during his first term. What they got? I forgot what this guy title is right now. The secretary of something. And he the one that made the statement about everything would be cool if it was ran by all white men or something like that. You know.
wow.
Yeah. And this is the idiot they had to get rid of
Well,
because he
when they first say writing the Constitution, of course the only race there was that mattered was the white race,
was right.
and they wanted it, to be its superior, and anybody that wasn't of white skin was inferior.
Right.
So they based the Constitution, of course, all the revisions and stuff
Right.
thereafter, that has taken place, but their first initial was that this was going to be the land of white supremacy, the
Right.
white people, the white race. Um, and for those of you, I say there's no such thing. There's a human race. Some people wanted this, how you call it, separate it, and then have this doctrine of we are the superior race, and
Right.
anything we say must go and will happen. And yeah, that's no, that's incorrect. But who am I? What do I
Yeah.
know?
What do you know?
I don't know. I don't know much, but I know it's most stupidest because even if white is superior, why if you put white with another color, it becomes
It
more that
disappears.
color.
Right. It just
So
disappears.
so even logically, it don't make no sense. But in America, they try to make it
I
make
mean,
sense.
that's. I mean, the only way to make yourself intelligent is to create a backwards ass society. You know what I mean?
And they're doing
And
it.
that's what they've done. So America has always been a backwards ass society. You know what I'm saying? It's like I used to make them statements as a kid. And teachers and shit used to get upset at me. You know, like, man, you motherfuckers are ass backwards. You know, I'm like, how is this? You know what I'm saying? It make sense.
Yeah.
You know, you some bitches would rather use up 3 of yous instead of one of me to keep me from getting the loot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you rather pay 3 of yous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, and then the job still is only half-ass done. You know?
Yeah, if you're
And
not
that-
qualified, then step
right.
down.
And that's the sister, I think her name is Crocker, was saying yesterday when they trying to, she was talking about these folks and how they trying to think on the hill. And and she was like, if you take her and compare her to these white women that's up there with her, she said there's no comparison. And they
There's
know
no
there's no
comparison to
comparison
the.
because as far as intellectually, you know what
Ah,
I mean?
I got you.
You know,
Yes, yes.
she like they can't touch it, wish they can. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's why they resort to they hateful snag comments to try to get her to react, and then they
yeah,
say she's the problem. So that's what
right,
they do.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
They love to throw the rocks and hide their hands.
Just antagonizing.
Just cowardice behavior. That's how they was raised. That's their DNA. Just some sniveling ass cowards, and that's how they conduct themselves. Look at these guys, how they doing it today. You know, and it's what amazes me is the high confidence they have that the armed forces would help them run roughshod over the people when the
Well, they
majority of
got
your armed
they
forces
gotta
are
obey.
people of color. No, they don't.
Well, I mean, what do you
No, they
mean? Unless
don't.
they go AWOL,
You know,
but
and, you know,
they have they when they sign up, they gotta do.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, that's sad if it is, if they're
And that's why
going
the
to.
people got to stand up and for what they, know is that, you got to protect yourself against all enemies, foreign and domestic, you know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I pray they don't have our servicemen and women conducting, genocide or, taking people away from their land
Yeah.
or
They're
their
doing it.
country
They're doing it.
because of greed.
They're doing
I and if they are, they're not televising it. I know they're talking
it. Oh,
about
yeah,
it.
they'll never televise it,
Right,
you know.
right.
But
I'd
like
be
you
ready.
said, they are taking over the Gaza Strip. Trump
What they
told
call it,
him,
the
man.
Riviera.
Right, told us, I guess he gonna change that to Trump Road, the Gulf of
Listen,
America. Man, this dude, these jokers are something else, man. They something
I think
else
he's flooding the media
with
and
bullshit.
yeah, but I do I think there's something else going on. Yeah,
Definitely,
because
definitely.
you're flooding us with this craziness, so there must really be something really happening. So let me check these books for sure. Let me see what's really on the docket, because if this is what they're putting out there in social media or in the regular media news, what's really happening is not that.
Right,
You
right.
know, I could be wrong, but history has stated this. Yeah, that's not how they do stuff. They do it on a bill that, like, uh, these. Here it is. The what is it called? The sex change. The now, am I? I certainly don't want people who are born a male and get changed and then play women's sport. No, I don't want that. And I don't think anybody want that. But yet that's what a lot of people are saying. Oh, this is the bill they're trying to pass. No, what else is on the bill? I hear that's what
Right.
you're yelling about. But what's really on the bill? Because apparently you're trying to say it includes that, but that's not what's spelled out. And I do remember that kickboxer who was born a male and now a female. Yeah, I don't think that's right.
Right.
That he fights or
Right.
she fights or shim fight
You
another
sound like
woman.
did you like that? Yeah, there's more of that coming. I saw that crap, man. I'm like, look at this chump. And the people, I'm like, man, this is six, 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 six.
Yeah,
six,
because
six
why? If you're
Babylonian society we living in.
yeah, because naturally your upper body strength is stronger. Or, come on, it's just so many variables that it's not an even fight.
Right.
I mean, genetic state is not an
But you
even
got a
fight.
lot of these women around there thinking they can whoop me. Look at that old girl. She a rough fighter. She not a unified heavyweight champion.
Well, she ain't fighting up with the men. Well, why she ain't in the men
She
group?
is challenging men. She's
But I'm
going
saying,
around trying to challenge men. And when one of them finally take up on that offer and get her ass in that ring and clean her clock, then the world gonna, so they're gonna fault the guy.
I said, what? Yeah, what you doing hitting a girl?
Right.
But I ain't never seen no kind, gentle studs.
Right, man.
Anybody who want to be.
Because until it come time to move some furniture and shit. I was
No,
like,
I don't
I'd be
know.
like, what happens to all these strong, fine men we just had up in there?
Oh, no, then listen. I remember having a girl
These upstanding young fellas.
as a what do you call it, a team member here at the restaurant, and you know, she was doing something, and I said, hey, you ain't got to do that. I said, hey, come over here and do this. She said, she called me out of my name. She said, B, don't tell that boy to come over here and do this stuff. I can do it. I said, wait, what? She, oh, I didn't mean to call you a B, but I said, what you mean you ain't mean to call me a B? You called me a B because I asked the young man to come over and get this up because I got something else for you to do. She goes, oh, I thought you told him to do it because I'm a girl. I said, again, first of all, you called me a B. So all the rest of the staff was like, what you gonna do, Miss Chantel? And of course I couldn't do nothing right there. But I wanted to see, okay, I'm not gonna fire her just because she called me a B. It could have been a slip up. She might not have other adjectives in her vocabulary. Okay, no problem. I'll let that go. But then she was a piss poor server,
Right.
and you know, not wasn't reliable, so I didn't put her back on the schedule.
Right.
But certainly the
So
B calling didn't help.
So you had to let her be.
Let her be, let her be, let her be,
Yeah.
let her be. Right. But yeah, it's the world. I still believe the good outweighs the bad, though, John, and I'm
Yeah.
certain you feel that same way. It's just what we've been bombarded with.
Yeah, but the good is scared and hiding and got their mouths shut.
I
You
ain't
know what I
scared.
mean? So
I ain't scared.
until the good starts standing up, you know what I mean?
I think the good stands up. You don't see it. They ain't gonna talk. They don't talk about the plane landing. They talk about the plane crashing.
Right.
What you say? Speaking of planes.
Speaking of plane crashes, man, this is crazy. 15 so far as of yesterday. It's been 15 plane crashes in the nation.
Here in
Just a
America.
month this year,
Wow.
This is just a month into the year. So imagine 15 times 12, that's 330 crashes we got to look forward to this year.
Yeah.
You know, if things keep going the way they're going.
I think you think it's human error, or you think it's.
I don't know. Some of them
they're
look
doing
very
their best.
suspect to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially that one in D.C. where that
The
Black Hawk ran
helicopter.
into that plane. Ain't no way in hell that's supposed to happen.
Yeah,
know?
they said that in fact, what was it I seen in the New Press YouTube said that there were several pilots, airline pilots, that were complaining about sharing the space with helis, as they
Right.
called it, and but certainly this helicopter was supposed to be at 150 feet lower
Right.
than it was. And so, but they're trying to find that helicopter black box and see if they can get more clues as to what happened. And it looks like they said the pilot of the airline seen him,
Yeah, well, I mean,
but couldn't react.
right. I mean,
Split second.
they made movies and videos bragging about these damn Black Hawks and how they can maneuver and do this and that in midair, blah blah blah. I ain't nowhere in hell that's on anything to do with that airliner. You know what I mean? That helicopter like broadsided that plane. And there's no way in hell he didn't see it. There's no way in hell he couldn't have outmaneuvered it. You know what I mean? Come on, man. It's to me it was a murder suicide. That's what I say it was. You know, the question is who was on that plane that had to die. You know what I mean? Because I mean, and people say that's far fetched today. Like I say, people are freaking idiots. If you still believe that type of shit don't take place, you know what I mean? They're starting to admit mass murders that they committed from the past. The biggest being the Titanic, how they took over the freaking financial formation of this government. From one of the biggest murder plots took place was sinking the Titanic with them millionaires on it. You know what I mean? You ever heard the story?
No.
Yeah, it's a story with so many. I forget who the guys were, but they all was invited for this party on the party. Right. They all was on the party, But I think it was some Rockefellers and somebody else. A couple of eight people they pulled off the boat before the boat set sail. knowing it was, and they saying that that wasn't the real Titanic actual boat. It was some regular ass knockoff that they dressed up. You know what I mean? Because they knew they was gonna sink it. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, the treachery is deep, and the wickedness is it's embedded. You know, so for folks to think that these type of things are far fetched is just far fetched to me. For you to even think that
that they
that
want to
it's
exist.
unthinkable. You know what I mean?
Right,
Come
right,
on, you folks say,
right.
come on, man. I hate to call names, but let's call it what it is. You're fidiots, what I used to say.
It's fit.
You know
It's
what a
fit
idiot
for you.
is?
I'm assuming it's fit to please you.
No, it's a fucking idiot. That's a idiot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, and America is full of them. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of tough cowards out here. You know, calling themselves patriots and whatnot, but we just lay down and let this government do what they want to do. You know what I mean? We just lay down and take it, man. You know, we just take it and take it and take it and take it and cry about it. You know, and cry about it. You know, but don't nobody want to do shit about it. You know,
And what do you think we should do?
I for one, we need to stop participating. It don't take long. Stop participating in this in this everyday life. Everybody just sit down. Just like they shut us down in 2020, they shut their ass down. You know what I mean? They had a plan. That's why they was able to survive it. You know what I mean? Shut their ass down without a plan. See what happened. You know?
So when you say shut it down, meaning don't go to work,
Don't go to
don't do
work.
it.
Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. If you feel like you're gonna want to move around, fill up. Everybody fill up one day. You know what I'm saying? And then the next few days, don't do nothing. Don't participate. Don't shop. Don't do nothing. Watch how rigid and how quick they get to come to asking people what they want. You know what I mean? But right now we're not doing shit, so we're not gonna get shit. You know what I mean? You just got a few people protesting here, a few people protesting there. That is all what we need. Like they said back in the '80s, hands across America. We need our hands on deck, and that's what that movie was about. You know, but unfortunately, when they set off the uprising, it wasn't set off like they wanted to. It happened because of some junkie got popped off by the police. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the riot started and shit. But you know what I'm saying? When they set it off during their
But it's been
organizing,
festering. Things have
right,
been
right.
festering.
So and that's what that, it's similar today, with the Trayvon and all that and shit, and man Mike Brown and all that, it is crazy, man. That Mike Brown situation, people piss me off a lot about that.
Mike Brown. Who's
that
Mike
young
Brown?
brother outside, I think it was Ferguson down there.
Mike Brown,
The
the
young brother that the police ran down and shot in the back and shit, gunned him down, young
it's so
18-year-old
common.
cat.
It's so
Right?
common. So
Right, but anyway,
yeah.
people when that first unfolded, I had to check quite a few folks because I'm like, motherfucker, I was Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying? 18 years old, 300 pounds, agile. You know what I'm saying? And was smacking the shit out of the cracker. You called me out my name. You know what I mean? So I could have easily got gunned down. You know what I mean? For no reason. For you.
Well, the
folks to
reason
piss
was you
somebody
called
off,
somebody out their name.
You know,
And that, but who's you to say
you know,
what it don't necessarily fit? But
right.
if you call somebody out their name and they want to shoot you, just like you just said, they call you out your name, you gonna shoot them. If they call you call them out of their name, they shoot you. So that don't make you no better than them.
No, I didn't say nothing about shooting nobody.
You said
what you said? Just slap the shit out of them.
Oh,
I ain't never had a desire to shoot nobody in my life.
okay.
Never carried a weapon until my 52nd birthday or some shit like that.
Okay.
You know, there's always a way to solve a conflict other than conflict unless I've never been an aggressor.
I
You know
got
what I
you.
mean? So,
You got enough aggression though.
hey,
You don't lack it. You know,
control of it.
I understand, again, your aggression, and I don't necessarily have it because I know there's a way to do it. And most times, it's with love, I even though, and a lack of understanding and a lack of commitment and also just being used to what is and thinking that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way I grew up. That must be right because my parents did it, their parents did it, and oh, I'm not as bad as my great great grandparents, so
Right.
I'm a little better. And hey, at least they can eat this now, or at least they can go to their own. Hey, they have freedom. The only time they don't is when they do something that gets them locked up. So and they feel that with that that's them being heartful. And hey, and if that's what they believe, that's what they think, that's what is. We can feel, of course, differently. And the best thing we can do is have a conversation. I know I changed the guy's mind, and I didn't really think I could, but I gave it a try. And a few times when I was in Panama City, Florida, on a meet and greet with Harley Davidson, Thunder Beach, and I had a Black Lives Matter wristband. In fact, I had a black one and a white one, and those little rubber bracelets, and it said, "Hey Chantel, I came to see you, but hey, I see this. I really don't like that. Black Lives Matter. All lives matter." And I said, "And that's what Black Lives Matter is." And he goes, "No, no, you're saying only black." I said, "No, it don't say only Black Lives Matter. It says Black Lives Matter." And the reason, and he goes, "No, no, that's Antifa or something like that." He mentioned, and I said, "Well, I don't really know what that is." I said, "But let me give you an example." I said, "Imagine houses. We got black houses, white houses, blue, yellow, green, orange houses. The black houses," I said, "they're all on the road. They're all on the street. The black houses are on fire right now. And so I wear this bracelet because the black houses are on fire. And we all need to help put this fire out. Because if not, all the houses are going to be burned." And they said, "Well, no, that's not what they mean." I said, "No, that is what they mean." I said, "Because when you turn on your TV, what do you see? You see blatant racism done to black people, black and brown people, based on prejudices of what they think or what they fear. And they're getting shot, they're getting killed, they're getting mistreated based just on their skin color. And if you don't pay attention, it's going to happen to everyone." And they go, "Well, oh, I never heard it said like that. Are you sure?" I said, "I know I'm sure. Because we see it, not me, you too. So we're saying, hey, let's do something about it. Let's pay some attention to it." He said, "Well, now that you said it like that, then yeah, I can get with that." And I didn't expect to change his mind, but I just wanted him to, he said, "Hey, yeah, I never think of it like that." And it just gave him another perspective.
Right.
And I could have easily just shut it down like, "Oh, okay, I got you," and went back to my circle and not disagreed with him. But I thought he came to see me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm a black person, so it can't be he's racist. He can
Right.
travel from far to come meet with me. So
Right.
and so it allowed me to be open, and that's one of the reasons I still go state to state, city to city, because some don't even have that conversation.
Right.
And I'm
True.
glad he mentioned
True.
it. I'm glad I had the bracelet. To this day, I'll see that man in Sturgis every time. "Chantel, you gonna be there?" I said, "I'll be there. Where you gonna be?" And we'll talk during Facebook or something. But
Right.
so I know now, is he a Democrat? No. Is he a Republican? I don't know. But he just had another thought that none of his family ever introduced, none of his friends ever introduced him. He was only listening to sound bites.
Right.
He didn't look it up, and that's some of our issue. We'll just we'll listen to only what they're submitting to us.
Yeah.
Well, then they gonna brainwash you.
Yeah.
They are gonna. You are gonna.
Program you.
Yeah. There you go. Get
Yeah.
this doctrine. Like the term "stay woke." Stay woke
Yeah.
mean to be conscious.
Right. I don't know what the hell they talking about on the political realm.
They talking about it mean we with transgenders teaching kindergartners, or I was like,
I
what?
ain't got shit to do with what we talking about.
Man, come on.
That's once again, that's that bad backwards thinking. You know what I mean?
I said,
It-
when I say I'm outside and I post, "Hey, we outside," that don't mean we're necessarily outside. It means I'm out of my house.
Right.
I could be inside anywhere, but yeah, people, don't get your grandfather's terminology. Move with the times.
Yeah. So much to say on that, but
About the outside,
I'm gonna be cool.
go and say it, brother.
No,
Don't hold back.
I'm already.
Don't hold back.
They probably already checking off boxes. And there it is. He reached the mark. Let's go get him.
Hey, y'all don't come looking for me. Come talk to me. I'll see where Brother John
Right.
is and see if you can talk to him.
Yeah, you can talk to me.
That's right.
So you can see
Yeah.
what's going on.
Because this is only my opinion based on the information I have. I can change my mind based on new information. I'm not stuck.
Right.
But if you got some info I didn't know, say, let's go. I'd be like,
just don't waste my time with your bullshit.
Right. Don't give me a sound bite.
Because I would not be believing you over my lying eyes.
Right.
You
For
know.
sure.
Come on, man.
Which,
It's crazy.
yeah, that's definitely crazy.
It's crazy.
You want me to change my mind based on what CNN said?
Right.
Or what Fox
Right.
News said? Or NBC or CBS? Nah, come on, man. Give me some facts. Something I can go on for real. Because news ain't what it used to be either. And I think you have a lot of older folk who remember what that was, and they're shocked that the news can lie.
Yeah.
And,
No integrity.
right.
No integrity.
Right. They're talking about what's bleeding, and that, of course, is what's leading. They don't talk about the middle of America where you can go pump your gas and then pay. They're only talking about the coastal states where you got to pay first, then pump.
Right.
But hey, it's where we're at.
Yeah, it's crazy. When that Philadelphia met a jet that crashed in the middle of the neighborhood. Yeah, that's crazy. That little boy was saving his little sister who took that head injury.
He's still recovering, right?
Yeah, they say he's talking.
Wow, good.
So it's
Listen,
crazy.
whoa. I seen the father. He said he was in there and he looked over at his son and he had a metal thing in his head. Oh,
Wow. It's
Ooh.
crazy.
and a girl, she had just got her life-saving surgery from Mexico
Yeah.
on their way back home.
Yeah. 76 of them, 4 crew members, a mom and a baby.
Jeez.
And the people on the ground, I don't think they still got the full number of those
Right.
folks.
There was one lady I remember hearing
Shopping plaza by the strip
Yeah.
mall in the neighborhood.
said she hadn't seen her sister since, and all her calls go straight to voicemail. And she went to go get something to eat from away from her boyfriend's house at that time, and she hadn't seen her since. And I'm like, man. And one thing about jet
Plane
fuel,
probably landed on her.
yeah.
You never
If
know,
the black
man.
box is 8 feet under in the
Yeah, like
equator,
the crater, man. You see the crater that Joker created? It's crazy. It's crazy.
my heart definitely just so sad,
And once again, these assholes blaming on people of color.
Who said that?
That's what you didn't see the news conference. What was that? So I forgot who the reporter was. No, it was the White House correspondent. He brought up the DEI thing doing all of this. Like, and like that's why they gotta start cleaning up to get more white folks in and blah blah blah. Yeah, I didn't write that down. I think we could go that far into it. But yeah.
Yeah, get his name.
These folks are idiots, man.
We know we gotta
straight idiots.
We're just gonna mark through him right there. We're just gonna say, oh, okay, this one. All right. Yeah.
They're straight idiots, man. But that goes.
And they get so much attention. The idiots get attention.
Yeah, because ain't no idiots out in this world. 85% is supporters.
Well, yeah, well,
borderline
they
idiots.
do.
Borderline
But
idiots.
I think some of them, and I On paper, I'm a registered Republican. Trump didn't get my vote though. Trump didn't get my vote. Uh, but I will say, several of them who voted for him, I know they truly, genuinely felt like he would do. Um, and sometimes it was a one thing. They were like, "Hey, he said I'm on a fixed income, Chantel, and he said he's going to bring the economy down, and I trust and believe him." I looked right in his eyes, and I said, "Okay, well, hey, we'll all benefit." That is yet to be seen, and so, and also, I know she was disappointed that he just pardoned all January 6th, including the
Yeah,
violent.
yeah.
So, yeah, I know they're disappointed. But I don't. I didn't feel he was truthful ever.
But this is what the convict in chief had to say on January 31st. Trump, after that DC crash, this is from CBS News, says Trump criticized DEI and FFA's diversity policies after deadly plane crash.
Yeah, it's not big.
Thursday
And who
press,
are the most beneficials from DEI or affirmative action?
white women,
Right.
the biggest benefactor. Black
Right.
folks are like number 6 on the list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So why is this even a discussion as a
Right.
distraction?
Right, right.
So again, the real issues is not what's discussed. It ain't the DEI. It ain't the affirmative action. It ain't. It's something way sinister.
Yeah, of course. I don't know how in the hell Obama name ended up in this conversation.
Oh,
He said, I put safety first. Obama, Biden, and the Democrats put policy first. This is
He-
what Trump said.
he said he was going to do away with all regulations and policy. At the first day, that's what he wrote off. It didn't happen safety first.
Right,
At least that's not what I'm seeing.
right,
You know, I remember when before Pete Buttigieg come in, I get on a plane. It's always delayed or canceled. It'd be so much delays to where I was like, you know what? I don't even want to get on a plane no more because it's not efficient.
right.
And then when that train crash happened up near Ohio, those were regulations, those were policies that were taken away because it would save the train industry some money, not having, and that's why that happened.
Right.
And so now for him to say, well, that's not what your record states, that you're all about safety. It's like, it seems like you're about saving money, but you're taking away, even with the USAD. If you're trying to save money, why would you go after a less than 1% when it means to give aid to other countries or to USA less than 1%? Why go after that?
Right.
Would that get the most attention and news grab everything? Yeah. But what's really happening?
Right.
So,
What I don't understand is how people just accept the fact that they're always talking about coming at folks for taxes and this, and that. When it comes to that, the billions of dollars go by with the corporations. You know what I mean? Go get that money. You know, you up here harassing folks for a couple of $1,000s when you leaving billions on the table, trillions on the table. Make it make sense, you idiot. You know what I mean? This is the type of shit it just gets me. Yeah, I just cannot grasp the logic. You know what I mean? You would
Yeah.
come, prosecute, try to arrest and jail me for $1,000 in back taxes,
mhm.
but you pardon billions and send away billions over to your boy, not Yahoo. You know what I mean? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know, and when they come, my people just let them take me away. You know,
So sad.
come on, man. When do we stand up? You know,
Yeah.
and I hear that Trump is going to demolish the IRS. You know, that's what he say. That's part of his plan too, is to get rid of the IRS.
Well,
Yeah,
if he does that mean I ain't got to pay no
right,
more taxes?
right,
I'm
right,
cool with that.
right,
I mean, if that means he's gonna do all the taxing with other countries and other people, then I might be okay with that,
Right.
but yeah, somebody gonna that don't sound right, huh? Don't- It's
I mean, that sounds. I mean, I would love to
because
see it for the future generations, because what they're saying is some of the is I'm sure you got some bullshit in it too, but it's for the selling points is that like if you go to buy a new car,
Mhm.
you pay those taxes on that car. They said that car can never be taxed again. You know what I'm saying? Like they got people paying taxes on used cars and shit like
Okay,
that.
yeah.
They won't be able to do that no more. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
then when you go to buy a home, and when she paid the taxes for that year on that home, you ain't got to keep paying taxes on that home. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because people, hell, some folks' tax bills are more than their mortgage. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous. But how often do you why you got to keep paying taxes on shit that you didn't pay tax on? You know?
Yeah, but that's how America was formed.
Yeah, through
Them
Robert.
taxation,
Through Robert. No, taxes really
death and
didn't.
taxes.
Taxes really didn't come into play until the early 1900s. You know,
Oh no, they've been taxing. They've been taxing before
they've been
1900s.
collecting levies, but they haven't been income
They
tax. No,
whether they call it
no. Check it
another
out. Check
name,
it out.
maybe they added income, but taxes has been around. When they say you can't avoid death and taxes, they find a way to somehow this or that. Now, the system as it's set up, IRS today, there's loopholes, and we have a lot of government officials who know the loopholes, or a lot of billionaires, millionaires, and even thousandaires who know the loopholes. And as Trump said so elegantly, "Oh yeah, I didn't pay that because I'm smart."
Right.
And and he's correct. If he found the person who knows how to go through the loopholes and make it where he don't have to pay, then yeah, he's smart. And I've always said, hey, I want to be that smart. I
Right.
want him to tell me how to do. Now, if he's getting here in office and say, hey, we know a way that hey, this can be across the board for everybody. Um, I don't know if I believe that, but show me,
Right.
please show me. I and if it doesn't mean I have to hurt anybody or kill anybody, I'm with it. But if it means I have to take from out of the mouths of people who are less fortunate than me, then no, I'll pay my share. But I don't want to pay my share to people who make way more than me and got more than me.
Right.
I think it should be something. If they're taxing me at 15%, then you tax the billionaire at 15%, and then we all should be happy. But I don't think you should go after U.S. aid. I don't think you should go for things that, the Panama Canal, Greenland, But again, I don't know a whole lot, but it don't sound right.
Right.
And it seemed like we need to get our own stuff straight here at home before we're talking about going and doing other things.
Right.
Because what? What? It don't make no sense. And for that, I don't think it'll make dollars, but for a few.
Right.
And the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer. I know we're creatures of habit, and we do the same things over and over again. We do have to do different stuff in order to get different results,
Yeah.
and whether we coming together or doing it apart, you got a part to play. Let's do it. Sidika, you'll check some of the messages because it's Black History Month, y'all, and most of the time, I will say, I get a lot of corporations
This might smoke.
too. um, a lot of corporations call us up in the month of February, which we're so grateful when they do, because it gives us, as a small business and a small minority-owned business, um, some extra. We wish people would do it year round, but that's our hopes. That hey, Black History Month is so hey, you can learn a little more about Black history in America over the next 28 days. And if it makes you want to go try a restaurant that you've never tried before, let's do it. And if you find out that we're really good, they'll use us all week or all year. And so call us up, y'all.
Check it out. Good catfish, chicken,
That's right.
green beans, mashed potatoes, green tomatoes,
Is that what you're
sweet potatoes.
Is you trying to sing the song? Green beans,
Whatever,
potatoes,
right,
tomatoes,
right.
ram, damn, all. You name it.
Right.
Yes. They see greens, beans, potatoes, hog, mogs, yams, rams, you name it.
Spam, candy yam,
Yes,
all
yes.
that.
We got all that. And we got a Super Bowl party. $25.
Strawberry jam.
All you can eat. Y'all better come eat and drink with Chantel.
There'll be no ham.
No, be no ram.
Don't do no swine.
Nope. All just some good food without not that pork ain't good, but someone asked me, Chantel, you don't eat pork because you're Muslim? I said, that's what started me not to eat pork. I said, but I don't eat pork because I found another reason. My other reason that makes more sense to me was that, I noticed a pig is used for, insulin. When you have a limb, it's the most comparative or that humans can use. And I said, okay, well, it saves a lot of lives. And I got 2 daughters that are insulin dependent.
Right.
So I didn't want to eat it. I said, well, man, they the most like us that way. Well, maybe God put them here to keep us going, because there's always a cure on earth for everything but death. So it keeps them alive, and for that and trust me, I used to eat pork. I used to eat chitlins, hog maw, hog head cheese.
From the rooter to the tutor.
Man, listen. So when I stopped eating pork, I was like, hey, I can do anything in the world. So now that I know those facts, I go, hey, I'm okay with not eating
Right.
it. I go with that. So for that,
Hey,
bringing life.
sometimes swine is fine.
As he picked the bacon up.
Right. Hey, man.
Hey, but I ain't got no prejudgments on anybody that do. Love is acceptance.
Hey, can we get to this? It's a topic that definitely needs addressing, but it's a sensitive topic because it involves our youth.
Well, we got about another 7 minutes.
We want to go into one.
Only because I got an
I'll
appointment.
save it then. We ain't gonna talk
No,
about it.
you sure?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the rise in assaults and homicides amongst our youth today. I thought we could go a couple of hours, but
It's a rise, you feel?
it's crazy because come to find out that the young folks are responsible for 40% of all homicides. They say worldwide, this is according to the World Health Organization, there's 193,000 homicides committed by young folks each year.
In what year?
Each year, on average.
193,000?
Yes, that's worldwide. That
Okay.
accounts for 40% of all homicides. You know what I mean? That's the leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds.
Mm.
They say for each killed or injured, there's many survivors that that are affected, either physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, from the injuries and whatnot. They say firearms are mostly used, Next, you got your blunt objects, your knives, and then hands and feet.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it's that almighty pistol.
Wow.
Yeah, they say
193,000.
Yeah, that's
Worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
We still live amongst, well,
I'm
as
sure about 60% of that take place here.
no, don't say that.
It's
Yeah.
facts.
And that's probably that's less than 1%.
1% what?
The
No, they
nation
say that's
population.
40,
No, the nation's population is 6 billion, 6.6 billion.
And this potential causes, most of, because kids grew up being sexually assaulted, sexual violence leads to those type of reactions,
Yeah.
homicides, They say 1 in 5 girls are a victim of it and 1 in 7 boys. It's crazy. They say bullying is a major cause for those type of assaults and whatnot.
Right.
42% of boys are bullied, 37% of girls are bullied, you know. And a lot of these factors could just be negated if you taught your child social skills, you know what I mean?
Hurt people.
Conflict resolution skills, you know what I mean? Those type of things.
Some of the adults that have kids, having kids by their daddy,
Yeah,
their mama, and they are hurt, and then it's just a whole cycle of just betrayal, hurt, trauma, and yeah, I remember being bullied as a kid. I remember being so shy, and although I was sometimes bigger than my bullier, I remember this little short guy named Walter. Walter used to bully me, and I'd go home sometime and tell my mom, "Oh, he just like you." I was like, "I don't like him," you know. But yeah, and it does make you feel sad and worthless, and you feel like you don't matter, and just a vicious cycle.
right,
And yeah, I try to pay attention, and I try to talk to my kids, being a victim of that. But yeah, like you said, to educate, to teach, and the only way is to, I guess personally, is to go out there and, if you see it, say something. Don't be silent about it, because then
right.
you support it. But yeah, that's certainly tragic. I, yeah, and I do believe it does happen mostly in the United States. Um, Although when I went to Africa, the jail was smaller than this restaurant,
Right.
and they handled. There was, although there were people AKA 47s on, like, in any corner or any store, there was no mass shootings.
Right.
There, in fact, that was one of the questions. They said, "Well, Chantel, our jail and prison is small because, nobody, one, if you don't go to the jail, if you go to jail, it's mostly because people didn't know you. You're somehow a foreigner."
Right.
And because most of the time, she said, we handle things ourselves. If we know you did something and you have a community, they know it was you, they're going to handle it. They don't have to call the police.
Right.
And you'll know not to do it anymore, or you're dead.
Right.
And they said the people that do go to jail, unless you have friends and family to bring you food, we ain't feed you. I was like, yeah, that's what we need.
Right.
I was like, yeah, because here we feeding them three hops in a cot, getting them showered, and it's against the law if you don't.
Man.
So, although we're in America, so a lot of people are innocent.
Yeah.
So we got to give it to them, because we're in for the majority, a corrupt place.
Yeah.
A very corrupt place. And the statistics, like you say, don't lie. The statistics in over 90% being African American or black and brown people in these jails, yet in the turn of the century, it was mostly
White.
yeah. So there's something with that because of free labor, or cheap labor, and greed. It all comes back to greed. The rich staying richer. I did have a thought on that too, about these homicides. I tell you, I've had quite some thoughts about moving, have dual residency,
Right.
in another country,
Right.
because you don't know. And it's always good to have some land that you can go and live off and provide for your family. And if you're in a country that don't allow you to do that or want to take, then it may be time for us to relocate. And I'm not opposed to that. I mean, this is the only place I was born and raised, but hey, I always want better. And the fact that I got exposed to something better gives me that, and I'm striving toward that, to at least have a piece of land in other country that I can go and bring my family and friends to.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a plan.
Well,
But yeah.
we're gonna,
Yeah, I think we got to recontinue that
we're
case.
gonna shelve this conversation for the moment, and in the meantime, to get to it next week or some other week.
That sounds good to
Bring
me.
it back up, But
Man,
you got to talk to these youngins, man.
yes.
Talk to them. It's
And
crazy.
not let
You
the
got to
media.
protect them. Yeah.
Right,
You
right.
know, it's not like a protection that leads to their behavior.
We got to guide them,
Educate them,
guide
encourage
them.
all of that. Yeah.
Let them encourage them that they can do anything they want to do in this world, and not fear. Because of course, social media love placing fear tactics,
And
which
a lot of
limits
these
them.
kids are acting off that fear. So many of them are trying to hurt themselves and doing so much damage to themselves.
Correct.
Got to give them some type of strength to fight.
Yeah.
But what we gonna do, man?
We gotta do better.
Just pray for the world, and
Love them.
you know,
Love them either way. Even love Trump.
definitely.
Yes.
Gotta show you, even the idiots, they all deserve.
Even the fidiots.
The idiots.
Yes. Love the idiots. Don't necessarily tell them they're idiot, because then they'll hate you. But love them and give them some understanding, maybe something they never had.
Right. But we'll work on it. Until then, everybody, y'all be cool. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend, and peace and love. And whoever wins that fake ass Super Bowl, so be it. Hey,
I'm rooting for the best team. How about that?
Right.
In between time, y'all be good, be safe, love you, mean it. And meantime, shut up and ride.
Yes, ma'am. Shut up and ride. 3's a crowd.
Peace and love, y'all. Says yes, in.